Welcome back to the Day Spring Volleyball Classic. I am Linda Rust. I'm here with Adam Reyes. We will be announcing this next game.
All right, welcome aboard. Yeah, we've had a lot of great games. I don't know about you, Linda, but this is probably the best. Like parity, different teams, a lot of 26-24 games, 25-23 games, a lot of equally matched teams throughout the tournament so far.
Yep, absolutely. I don't think there's been a team that's undefeated this year.
Okay.
Usually there's a team on top.
Yep. But not this year. Everybody has at least one loss then?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at the scores earlier. I was like, maybe Quad Cities will be kind of an easier one. Full disclosure, my daughter's playing for the Eagles.
Yeah.
But they're not. Like, there's another team that's had a very solid record, has played very good games with a lot of good teams.
Yep.
So this game again should be another close match and good contest for both sides. So you don't really get a break. There's not a lot of easy teams either. There's maybe one or two that are on the lower end of the brackets, but overall, most teams are going to give you a battle.
Right.
All the way through.
Yep.
So
a lot of just closely matched abilities.
Yep. So it looks like Quad Cities. They are the Eagles as well. So Quad Cities against the home team, Quentin Road Eagles, and I think this will be a great matchup. Any big keys that you've seen? I don't know if you've seen Quad Cities play. Any big keys for either team, Linda, before we get to the game?
I have not seen Quad Cities play. I have seen Quentin Road play.
Yep.
And I think they just need to keep hitting the ball.
Yep.
I think when they start passing it over and tipping it over,
yep,
it makes it really easy for the other team to pick it up.
It works on a weak team, but most teams in this tournament are not weak enough for that. They really, you have to stay aggressive. You have to be stronger. They have some good hitters. I think one of the keys for them is Addie Julian. Freshman, good hitter, but if she's not on, that makes it really tough. You got McKay on the back there, and all of a sudden you don't really have a great option up there, right? So I think she's going to be huge for them. If she can get her hits in play, inbounds, hard, and tough to return, they're going to be in good shape.
You got the first serve out by Quad Cities. That'll bring up Kylie Gomez up to serve for the Eagles. One nice thing that Quentin Road has, they have two really good setters.
Mm-hmm.
They can set up those hitters very well. We've seen a couple of good hits from Sarah Moran.
Yes, she's also a great hitter. Yep. I think she's another key to the team. So then if you can have her hitting in all cylinders, and then you have Micaiah, of course, another junior, and then your freshman Addie, now you have three options to go to. And Erin Horan, also a freshman. So now you have four girls who can get pretty solid hits down.
Yep.
So you have some good options, but the key is, I think, get a couple of those freshmen that can really get those plays in.
And there's nothing like a good spike to get your team pumped up.
Yep. Well, it opens everything else up, too, for when you do have to pass it over, or when you can just kind of get those little sneaky sets over.
Yep.
Those are only effective if you had some good spikes.
That's right. Otherwise, they're just always expecting it.
Yep.
I think another key for both teams will be communication. At this point in the game, I think people are getting tired. You're not calling the ball as much.
Yep.
And so communicating so that we know who's going to get the ball.
Doesn't look like there's a huge advantage on the net as far as size and height and such.
Right.
A couple taller girls for Quad Cities. I should say medium height.
Right.
So
medium tall.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So shouldn't be a huge factor. I think they're both can play the net, obviously.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see who wins that battle. Would you say most high school girls teams have two solid setters, or you think most of them play with just one?
I would say one primary most of the time.
Yep.
The advantage of having one primary one is you get a third hitter in the front row for half of your rotation.
Yep. Which, I mean, honestly, Carly and Jen are able to get it over.
Yes.
Sometimes you'll see that where they'll set back to the center.
Yep.
And they're pretty decent. I mean, they're not a bad hitter, so that really helps where you can do both.
Right. There's another option that few teams play, but it's a 6-2 where the setter sets from the back row. Okay. So you always have three hitters.
Okay, interesting.
It's a little more challenging, but if you have good setters and a team that's able to adjust to it, it's a fun option.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, this level, right? You know, high school, Christian high school volleyball, it's like, how do you not go too complicated, right? Where it's going to make it harder on your girls to play just volleyball, right? But also make it nuanced enough where you're challenging the other team.
Right.
And giving them something they haven't seen before.
Yeah. Nice set by Addie Julian. Let's see, was it in? Yep. It's kind of the first hit I've seen.
Yeah, you're right. Both teams, I think, probably fall into what you were saying, where it's a lot of just get the ball over. Both pretty fundamentally sound, but maybe not as solid of hits.
Right.
So
Quad Cities, they had a nice spike attempt, but it was out of bounds.
I think these teams probably are very similar in other ways, too, that I think they probably are both streaky. I think one of the scores I saw was, I think Quad Cities beat Arthur in one game.
Okay.
And then lost 25-7 the next.
Yes, I did hear that.
So that is just like such a, and that sounds like something Quentin Rowe would do, right? It's just like they can be really great, but they can also be really bad. So just being able to keep it as even keeled as you can and be able to keep it consistent.
Right. I'm seeing like little silly mistakes.
Yep. And again, that goes to what you were saying is after how many games of volleyball have they played? They're looking at 8 maybe now. So that's a lot of games where you're used to just playing one match a night, and now you're doing, 8 games. You're on your 9th game now. A lot of great competition too.
Yeah.
That has to be really wears on you, not just physically but also mentally, right? You're doing all these different things, trying to figure out what each team's doing, and trying to adjust to that. It's a lot of volleyball one day.
Right, it is. All right, so we have number 2 for Quad Cities. Randicate Garant.
A 7th grader coming in, right?
Yep.
So that's fantastic. So pretty good serve.
Right.
And gets the point.
Yep. One thing I noticed Quentin Rowe doing is sending the ball back off the serve. And I feel like that's ineffective. They just did it again, right?
Yeah. And that time it worked.
That time it did.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you can if the team comes up, if they start creeping up and you run out of players back there, it can run into something that maybe you can get some success off like you just did.
Right.
So, but you can't rely on that too much.
Right. If you're doing that to a team that passes well and they have a decent hitter, well, now you have to. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I think that really hurt us with Heritage because they have a great hitter.
Yep, exactly.
And, if you just send it back over,
right.
they'll just tell you thank you very much and set it up.
Right. I would rather us, instead of sending a bump over, setting up our hitters.
It is interesting, like who has the advantage on the serve, right? Because that team receiving it should be able, theoretically, right? If it's an easy enough serve to return to set it up for a spike.
Yes, exactly.
But it is amazing how often you have a server serve 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row.
Yep.
But you would think that maybe that team receiving it would have the advantage to spike it earlier.
Oh, and a good net play.
Great play. Great play by Sarah.
Yep.
So far, I would give Quentin Rowe maybe a slight edge on the net play. We were kind of thinking that might be a wash, but so far, Sarah, Addie, both playing pretty well in the net.
Yep. Now I know Jenna normally does a jump serve.
It's tough
with
these.
She can't.
Yeah.
In this situation because it's too short of an approach here.
Yeah, is that hard for players to adjust to? Because it just seems like it would just be so hard. It's just such tight quarters that you're playing with.
It is. It gets in your head a little bit. But if you can adjust and have confidence in your serve, then it's okay.
I was thinking about that in our church gym, and there's fans too everywhere.
Right.
Right. So how do you even play? And when you're 3 feet away from 3 feet away from fans, and that ties the game up.
Yep, that was a good block by Quad Cities.
Just when I said that we had the net control.
Yeah. Yep.
They're like, wait, I don't think so.
Now another thing I noticed is Coach Emily has been using substitutions to kind of break the momentum of the other team.
Yep.
Which I think if you have evenly matched players on your team, then that's a smart move.
which is very much the case with Quentin Road.
Right.
You have a lot of parity with players. You don't have an obvious 6 players
Stand
that are
out.
exactly
Right.
yes. So, which is kind of nice for a coach to have, and you would probably know about this, being our day spring volleyball coach.
Yeah.
Is that then you can pull a player out, and if you have to talk to them, you're
Yes.
not losing the game. It's not like you don't have anybody on the bench. You have 3 or 4 players just moving in and out of the bench. So you want to talk to somebody, just switch them out and have a chat. You don't have to call timeout.
Exactly.
And keep the game rolling. So
yeah, I have a few girls this year that I do rotate through one of my positions, and it's actually very helpful. Just to give them a break.
Yep, that too. So they're just not on the whole time. You can kind of reset.
Yep.
Physically.
And mentally.
And mentally too, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just kind of see. It's kind of nice just to have even really good players be able to just step back. I always do that when people come back from injury, and it's like they kind of have like a fresh look on the sport because they've been able to sit back and just kind of watch other people play it.
Right.
11-9, Quad Cities with a 2-point lead here. So Quentin Road trying to make sure that they don't get too far ahead.
Ooh. I feel like they struggle with that middle back, that deep middle back spot.
Yep.
So I noticed a few other teams setting up a 3-person serve receive, which drops the middle person back instead of keeping them so far forward.
Right.
And I wonder, I know Arthur does that. Heritage, I believe, does that too, but I wonder if that just makes it a little easier to cover the back half of the court.
Does that leave the middle more exposed, do you feel
like? It does.
Okay.
Yes. But I feel like it's easier to go from back to forward.
Right, exactly.
Then
Yep. It's like baseball.
Yeah.
Right? You have the outfielder, you play a little farther back because you can run in easier than you can go back.
Right.
Yeah. But I wonder if you're kind of looking at it percentage-wise, right? Like if more serves are falling in that middle, maybe if that's what coach is thinking.
Right.
So,
right.
I know some of these are like stats kind of things, right? Like what are the odds? Where's that ball going? But I have seen. You definitely have a weak point either way, right?
Yep.
So is it behind that middle girl, or is it in front of her, kind of?
Right.
So.
And it's an ability thing too, because if you have, quick back row players, they can start back and they can, if it's a short serve, they can get it.
Yeah.
Or they can read it.
Right.
If you don't have that ability at this age, well, then it's not bad to have that middle up because that's where she's already there if they serve there.
On that play there, I was just thinking, it doesn't help at all in the back row if you start leaning back too and start taking balls that are going to be out.
Yep.
But that one, she was trying to do that, and that one was actually in.
Right.
So that one we were hoping for maybe a redo.
I know.
But instead,
nope,
it
was
like
after the play.
Yeah, it really wouldn't affect the play.
Right.
Well, actually, we'll say it did. No, it didn't. It was already up in front there.
They used to call no matter what.
Okay.
If a ball was on the court, they used to call it.
Yeah.
Now, they only call it if the ball is actually impacting the play.
Right.
Which I think is good. I think it's just nice to keep the flow going.
Yep.
So Quad Cities is breaking away a little bit here.
Yep.
They have a front row hitter that's gotten a few kills.
Who is that?
That was in. See, they're struggling in that middle back spot.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough too because as you rotate around too, there's different players playing that middle. So it's like, some players maybe is fine, right? And then others it hurts you. So it just is hard to adjust.
Yeah.
So
I think that was number 26 on Quad Cities that's been getting a few of those kills.
Yep.
That was a nice block by Sarah. It's a good setup here. Sarah gets it over. There she is, yep. That number 26.
Yep. Good hitter.
Oh.
Almost had a chance to get it over.
Yeah.
This streak has been really going too long for the Eagles.
I agree.
And this is something that they have struggled with.
Yep.
And that being a young team, it's very easy for that to happen.
Yep. They got a break there.
And if you're Quad Cities, what you don't want to do is that, right? Give them an out. You want to keep that rolling and make them have to earn that point. You never want to give away that point when you've rolled over, 6, 7 points in a row, don't make it easy on that opponent. Just keep it rolling and make them have to make a play.
Right. Right, some good digs here, both sides. Addie hits it. I think that was going out.
Yeah.
But she went after it.
I think both teams have helped the other team a little bit by going for some of those balls that are going pretty deep. I don't know if they would be in play or not.
The ball is on the other half of the gym.
And I think a fan was enjoying time with the game ball. I think maybe, I don't know if he was signing it or what was going on over there. So. Oh, here it comes for Sarah to serve. Quentin Road trying to crawl back into this one, climb back into this one.
Yep. And at this point, all it takes is, 4 or 5 points. Nice block by Addie Julian.
And that was for 26, it looks like, right?
Yep.
Junior, number 26. Ida Kyer, it looks like.
Yep.
So, yeah, she's a good player.
Yeah, she's had some good hits, even off the block a couple times so far.
Yep.
Nice serve by Sarah. Ooh. Oh, that was a great hit by number 18.
Yep.
See if Addie can. That was a good spot.
Just trying to put it in that middle.
Right, that middle spot is usually wide open. Micaiah covered the Quentin Road area in the middle there, but she just came off of her arm funny and went out of bounds.
Yep.
So Regan Ochke.
And she's a freshman, it looks like, back there. Sorry, junior. I was looking at the other.
Little sister.
I was looking at the sister, yep.
So Carly Gomez back to serve.
Yeah, both these teams not having a lot of seniors. Looks like maybe just one between both teams.
Yeah.
So a lot of young players out here.
Yep. Little set over the net.
So you got to think they're going to be pretty decent next year too.
Yeah.
And kind of building on this.
Right. Good. Oh, she tried to tip that middle. Ooh,
but I would say
both
teams like very similar style of play in some ways, right? Not a lot of really strong, unhittable kills happening. Right. A lot of fundamental, a lot of pass and set and spike it, but not really super strong.
Yep.
So they're not returnable. 18-15. So the score kind of shows.
Yeah, they got
pretty evenly matched teams.
They got their 4 points. They're back in it.
Yeah.
Let's hope they keep it going. Womp womp.
I know, those serves.
Oh,
the momentum killer sometimes.
It is, yeah. But now mentally they just have to move on.
Yep.
And focus on the pass.
I guess that's one area where if you have a senior, they can kind of step in, right, and not let that pressure get to them and get that serve over.
Right.
Break that chain.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about it's like volleyball is tough that way because that's a great hit.
Yep.
Great spot, great hit, great set right there from Jenna. That's exactly what you want to do if you're the Eagles.
Definitely.
You're going to have a lot more of those.
Yep.
But it is tough with volleyball. Like you could have a senior out there and the ball just doesn't come to them for 4 or 5 plays in a row.
Yep.
Right. That's just kind of the nature of the game.
It is.
It does make it tough. That's
a great serve.
Great serve from Aaron.
We got 17-19. Quad Cities in the lead. Another really nice serve.
Yep. And another ace. And that's pulling them back in the game here.
Yep.
They've had kind of a couple different spurts. It hasn't just been one, right? They've had 2 or 3 of these where they've got 2 or 3 points back and climb back into this one.
Now, if they can keep up the momentum coming out of the timeout, then I think they'll be good.
We'll go ahead and take a timeout along with them, and we'll be right back on the Eagle Sports Network. All right, we're back here in the school gym. And Quentin Road trying to mount a furious comeback in this one.
Yep. Woo. Jenna Rendy.
Those are tough.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
It's so interesting how a game usually comes down to a few plays like that.
Yep.
Where it's just on the net and you can just tell,
Yep.
like, you know,
It's balancing.
nobody really got it good. It's just like, where's the ball going to fall?
Yep. How ready are you on your defense?
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's tough to pick that up. I didn't see that one at all.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell if the coach was
confused.
saying that he was saying it was out or if he was saying we didn't see it either. I couldn't tell.
Well, it definitely landed on the rug, so it was definitely out.
It was,
But
okay,
the girl went for it.
Okay.
So that's,
yeah.
I think, why
Right.
people were confused.
Right, right. Oh,
Oh,
that's the coach was probably saying she didn't hit it. Maybe.
Right.
That's kind of her.
Nice block by Addie Julian.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I think maybe they didn't call a block. Yeah, because
Yep.
otherwise it would have been still in play, right?
Yep, you're right.
So-
You're right.
But I think having a blocker up there is, even on those plays, they should get credit because there's a reason why, you know, they're hitting the net. You know,
Right.
there's a blocker up there that's very distracting to a hitter, I would imagine.
It is, definitely. Yep.
Some of these spikers that are playing, the one on Heritage I'm thinking of too, it's like it seems like that's almost your only way to stop it is to get a blocker up there.
Right.
Because they're just such good hits coming down.
Yeah, it's coming at you so fast.
It's going to
like
be tough for that back row to really do anything with it.
Right. So slowing it down or at least getting in her way.
Yep.
That was a nice hit by 14.
Yep.
Kennedy Ochke.
So there's the freshman, right? So she's
Yep.
out there. And rotating in and out too. So again, very similar style play and even team dynamics of youth and trading them in and out
Right.
and moving players around.
I mean, it's good experience for those younger girls, too, to get in there.
And that's where it comes back to bite you too sometimes, right? You're getting that experience, but then sometimes that experience is not good experience, right?
It's not helping your team.
Right. But you're right. In the long term, it helps you. But it's like,
Yeah.
for this game, not what they needed there.
Yep. Nice serve by Jenna Rendy. Ooh, she tries to set it over. Oof. That was a one-arm attempt by Addie Julian.
Yep.
So we have number 7. This is Bridget Logan back to serve for Quad Cities. And Quentin Road passed it a little too tight to the net.
Yep.
Front row couldn't get it over. So the score is 23-21. Quad Cities in the lead. It's like a timeout by Quentin Road. So we will be back in a moment for the rest of the game. Okay, we got 23-21 Quad Cities. We are going to be finishing up this game momentarily. Emma Cherry checking in the game. She has been fun to watch up in that front row.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she's had some great plays this tournament.
Some nice block kills up there. When they need a blocker, she's a good one to go to. Oh, that was a good attempt by Carly. I couldn't really see that edge of the court, but it looked really close. So game point for Quad Cities. See what Quentin Road does here. Emma bumps it over. Ooh, good
Got a
kill.
piece of it, but not enough to keep it over there.
Yep. All right, so that's the end of game 1. We'll be back in a moment for game 2. All right, welcome back to the Day Spring Classic. Playing some good volleyball today. Wow, nice hit over there by Arthur.
And this game number 2 between Quad Cities Quentin Road, pretty important for seeding, right?
Yes.
I think they're probably both vying for maybe number 3, number 4 seeds, somewhere in there.
Yep.
And if you can beat them by more than they beat you, that's going to help too.
Right.
So this will be a good game here, an important game for both teams, setting you up for tomorrow. That's a big difference between 3 and 4, depending who you play tomorrow.
Yeah.
So a lot of good teams here. A lot of good squads.
Yeah, I feel like the level of volleyball has gone up in the past year.
Yeah, I feel like the last few years there's been a few teams where it's like, okay, they're pretty easy wins.
Right.
But there's really not tons. There's really hardly any easy wins. They're
right.
all pretty hard-fought games.
Yep.
So, and there's no super team either, like you were saying. You know, there's been other years where it's just like, oh, we know who's going to win kind of before it even starts.
Yeah.
You really don't have that. I think you have 5 or 6 teams that are all have a decent chance to win.
I totally agree. Yep.
It's interesting to see what will happen.
I feel like defensively, these teams have improved a lot defensively.
Yeah.
Like you see, you know, a couple good hitters.
Right.
All around, but I feel like just defensively, they're getting up awesome digs everywhere.
And a lot of long volleys too.
Yes. Yep.
So, to your point.
Yep. That was a good hit.
Some good hits, but it's almost like we're going too much angle, right?
Yes.
Going down that net.
Yep.
If you can kind of just straighten that out a little bit and bring it down to that corner.
Right.
Deep corner.
That's what you see with the younger players.
Yeah.
Not being able to adjust to the set if the set is far inside.
Yeah.
Then
we've seen a lot of our hitters have done that. It seems like several hits have gone kind of down the net.
Right.
So, yeah.
Bailey Reyes checking into the game.
Might be some fatigue going on too with that, right?
Yeah.
Trying to adjust and
and just not getting there quick enough. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice pass by Micaiah, set by Jenna. Oh, little miscommunication. Bailey took it over. Bailey's playing front row. All right. Set her up. Oh, good dig.
Oh. Ooh. Trying to pull it up there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was another one of those substitutions, just trying to mix it up a little bit, trying to throw off to the team and interrupt their momentum from last game. Last game, Quad Cities got a good 5 or 6 point lead, and that ended up being the difference in the game.
It did, yes.
So you don't want to do that again if you're Quentin Road. Just stay even with them and then make that middle or late game surge to win it as opposed to just coming back.
Yep.
Aaron's coming back in here to serve.
That was a nice serve. She had a string of a few points last game.
Yep.
Nice set to Addie.
Yeah, you're right. It was part of the comeback.
Oh, good.
Would have been out. And that one's played off the roof, it looks like, or ceiling.
Set up Addie again. That's a tough hit to hit coming from behind.
I've noticed that a couple times, and I was wondering how hard that was to hit because it looks harder.
It is, yeah.
Than from the side.
Nice hit by Micaiah. Nice block. Wow, this is a good volley.
Again, another good volley.
So what you'll notice about these volleys, that was a good dig by Micaiah. What you'll notice is the girls start to creep up on the court.
Yep.
So if you're in the middle of a volley and you go deep, usually that's a nice, nice open spot. Got a couple substitutions here.
Well, you were saying some teams play with that setter in the back, and I was thinking in my head, like, man, would that be hard to have their setter in the back like that? Well, they end up coming up front to set it.
Yes, they do.
So there's not as many plays like that.
Exactly.
Where it's a set behind you, because it does look, definitely harder than from the side.
And the setter's position, if they're doing that kind of defense, the setter's position is near the 10-foot line anyway on defense.
Okay.
So if they're not getting that first ball, then they're 2-3 steps away from their setter spot.
Yeah.
So nice dig by Carly. Went over. That was great. Addie hits it over from the back row. I love seeing that aggressiveness.
That one a hit/pass, right?
Yep.
Pretty good communication. There was a couple times in that play I thought the girls were going to double hit it, but
yep.
there's been a couple of those misses where it's hit the net.
Right.
And they think it's a block.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's hard to see.
Yep. Actually, that was in one of the other games that I was doing book for. It looked like it hit the tape and didn't go over, but the ref thought it went over, so the girls kept playing it.
Yep.
One team started to celebrate.
Yes, yes.
And the other team kept playing it, and eventually, it settled, but
yeah.
But it's like you have to play until you hear that whistle.
Yes, yep. And it's hard in a gym like this because you have
yes.
whistles going on the whole time from both sides of the court.
Yep, exactly.
I've always thought that's distracting, too. I don't know how,
yep.
how that would work. Oh. Speaking of not being ready for a play.
They were doing a sub over here.
Serve.
Yeah, and the other team thought the whistle was for the serve.
It's turned into a dodgeball here.
Yeah, right.
So
yep.
Yeah, if volleyball doesn't work out, just switch over to dodgeball and go there. So.
Although I don't know how good she would be at dodgeball. She just got hit.
Well, that was a pretty good hit on Quad City's part.
Yeah.
Right? She's a pretty good.
I mean the Quentin Rowe girl.
Yeah, right, yep.
Quad Cities bumps it over. Good pass. Carly, that was a great hit.
That was a great spot.
Yeah. It's tough on that edge by the team because you're so close to the court.
Yeah. That's interesting you made that point about the defense getting better because I've noticed a lot of, we're getting a lot of decent hits, but they seem like they're getting returned a lot.
Yes,
so it's like you almost have to, paint the corners, right? You have to try and, find spots like that to get a point.
Right.
Well, that's interesting that you're kind of, alluding to that maybe being because there's such a better defense on most teams' part. So, it's interesting.
My thought is as far as hitting, placing it is she missed it. Placing it is it's a big part of volleyball strategy.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying earlier, how the team is creeping up. If you hit deep a few times, then the team starts to back up, which opens up the middle.
Right.
And then you can tip middle.
Right.
And then they start to shrink in. And so it's kind of like this mental game where you just keep, if you keep working those angles and hitting those spots.
You don't want to just do one or the other.
Exactly.
You want it to be a mixture.
Yeah.
I mean, like most sports, I guess, right?
Yep.
It's like most sports, you want to try and mix up your offense and not just be one-dimensional.
Exactly.
So we'll go and take a break along with the teams, and we'll be right back.
All right. We have Quad Cities serving right now. The nice pass by Bailey Reyes, setting up Carly Gomez, who, wow.
This is really interesting.
That was interesting call.
Yeah, that's happened a couple times now. And it's definitely, usually I feel like most calls, they kind of even out in the end, right?
Do.
It's like, you're going to have a play go your direction, and then that happened actually in one of our other games.
It did.
There was a couple where it was like, I think that was actually,
one was out,
right?
The other one was in.
And then late in the game, it happened to us.
Yep.
And it's like, we can argue about this and fight about this, but actually we got two calls earlier in the game, right? So it's like, usually that does happen. Although, you do, I think it's okay maybe to say something, too, if you're the coach maybe or something, right? Like, hey, just watch that. I'm not saying, you're a horrible person or anything, right? Just watch that now, because it may not be going over every time.
And you know what? It is tough for this ref because he's the only one that's trying to watch the whole entire court.
Yep.
So to see, people, bodies in the net or even balls going over.
We talked about how distracting it is for the players to have whistles blowing and another game going, but maybe for the ref too. It's like, you're seeing all that. It's not like it's it's a transparent net that we have there, right? You're seeing everything happen around. You got balls going. You have players over there practicing. So you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
So
Not to mention when the ball falls, on the line, potentially there's a player in front of you that's blocking your view of whether that ball hit the line or not.
Sure.
So it's like,
Yep.
I know they're just doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Wow, great volley, some great digs here.
Sarah playing a couple great plays there.
Yep. Some great digs on. That was a nice hit.
I was
right
going to
down the
say,
line.
Quad Cities kind of came out of that timeout with more energy.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, Quentin Road's starting to come alive a little bit. It helps when you make a couple points, too.
Yep,
It's like hard to know always, like, are they just low energy or they just lost the last 5 points?
Yeah.
So you get a few points, it's a lot easier to have high energy.
And with a younger team, you definitely see the difference.
That's especially true. Yep.
Yep.
Because seniors know, right?
Yep.
Juniors kind of know, like, you got to keep it consistent, keep it high energy all the time.
Exactly.
But it's harder for those younger players.
I know when they get down 3 or 4 points, you can see the look on their face.
Yep.
So 9-8, very close game here. Quentin Road sticking with it so far. Let's see if they can pull out the win.
Yeah, neither team wants there to be a long surge from the other team.
Right.
It's going to be key for them.
Nice dig by Micaiah. Ooh, they tried to dump it over. Micaiah picks it up. Sarah in the middle. Oh,
man, be careful.
Surprised the girl on the sideline.
It's that's one of the big hitters in the tournament too. So I don't know if maybe she's just working for tomorrow. Maybe
Yeah.
just
yeah.
No.
It's a nice
it's tough.
swing.
A lot of tight spaces and
right.
out of bounds lines around here with all the fans and stuff.
Right.
And Quad Cities takes the lead. This is going to be a big key point of the game for the Quentin Road.
Yep. So we're getting some decent sets. That was a nice hit by Addie in the back row.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
One thing I really like is decent back row hitters.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the ball on the net and the setter isn't able to set the front row, I love if they're able to hit the front row.
Yep. At least get a good hit over.
Yep, exactly. And a back row hitter that's confident enough to hit the ball over instead of just bumping it over.
Right.
I think it adds a little element of difficulty to your team's game if you can hit the ball over versus bumping it.
Yep. Because you're going to have to bump it enough, right? Where you can't get a good set anyways.
Right.
So.
And you don't want to give them an easy ball over the net. You want to make it a little bit challenging. Ooh.
Oh. That was a great play.
That was.
And that one blew surprise.
Yep.
And says that it was in. So maybe that one was one of those calls that comes back, right?
Yep, that's right.
So you just got to keep playing and know that you got a couple calls your way earlier in the game.
Exactly. Little miscommunication on Quad Cities. They got it over, though.
You just want to use it here, right? If they
Carly sets up Sarah.
barely get it
nice
over.
hit. Quad Cities digs it. Oh, that was another nice hit.
Yeah. And those are the ones that you want to get that kill for. But again, back to your earlier point, good defense.
Right.
Looks like that middle might be a little soft for Quad City. If you can just kind of drop it in there.
Yep, I agree.
But again, tough to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Aaron back in.
Yep. Bailey and Aaron constantly moving in and out, right?
Yep. And both doing equally well in that spot. Nice dig by Carly.
That was tough for
going,
Sarah.
Still going, yep.
To be able to get back there for that play.
Yeah. Good pass. They set up their hitter. Nice dig by Micaiah. I feel like Micaiah is very quick.
Yeah,
she's
able
a
good athlete.
Yeah, get around the court. Nice hit by Aaron.
Good play.
And a kill for Quentin Road.
That was really good.
Yeah.
You just talked about Aaron playing her part well up there in front.
Yep.
I would like to see maybe a couple more of those.
Yes.
Because they were kind of expecting it from Sarah, it looked like, and then all of a sudden, sister right next to her took care of business.
Definitely.
So again, if you can get those 4 hitters all firing on all cylinders. It's a dangerous team.
Yeah. Plus, it's good for a team to not set the same person every single time.
Is that just for wear and tear on that person, or
No,
what's the theory behind that?
It's easy for a blocker to stand right in front of a hitter that hits all of the balls.
To always know who it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's much more challenging.
Oh, yeah, double hit there.
Little carry there.
Yeah.
It's much more
Although
challenging.
I didn't hear a whistle. I thought they were still
I
playing.
know.
Please tell me that's a double hit.
Right. Yeah, it's more challenging if you're moving the ball around to different hitters.
Yep.
You know, the blockers don't
You
know
don't know where
where
it's coming
go.
from.
Right.
The back row doesn't know where it's coming from, right?
Right. Nice tip by
All
Addie
of a sudden,
Julian.
momentum shifting.
Yes.
Several points in a row for Quentin Rowe coming back.
Yep.
And now they have to keep that foot on the gas pedal and try and take a lead.
Yes. Beat him on the points.
Yeah.
Good serve by Sarah. She's got a good serve.
Yep.
They bump it over. Let's see what they can do with it. Got Addie in the middle. Nice hit. Oh, that was a good save. That was really nice. Oh, she tripped a little.
Still got it off, huh?
Yep. Some really great passes here. Aaron with a hit.
Again.
Woo. See the
Another good
defense.
hit.
These defense.
Yep.
Just picking everything up.
Yeah.
Good hit by Addie.
That was a big point right there. I feel like
Yep.
the longer the volley gets, the more important the point seems to be. I don't know if that's true or not as a coach, but it just seems like as a fan.
It's all about momentum. You know, you did all that
You're fighting
work.
right. How hard is it? You were saying earlier, like the location of the ball. How hard is it for a hitter to get it in the right spot? It seems like it would be hard to aim it. Like sometimes you're just trying to hit the ball hard.
So
that's a good spot right there. I like where
that
Addie
was
just
really
put that.
good, yeah.
If you can go for the corners more than the middle, it seems like that's where they're weaker.
So it depends on
Nice play.
That was great.
Nice hit.
It mainly depends on your, I would say, level of play.
Yep.
Your experience level.
And it seems like maybe probably height and jumping ability helps a lot too, right?
Coordination.
The longer you can get up in the air and be able to see your field and pick your spot.
When you're younger, your only goal is to make contact with the ball. You don't have any idea where your blockers are, if there's a blocker, or where any holes
just
like whatsoever are. Yeah.
Yep.
As you get older and more experienced, you can start to see the block. You start to learn how to adjust to the setter's set. So because not every ball is perfect.
Yep.
And when you're younger, it's harder to adjust to that. And a lot of times you'll see younger players getting underneath it and hitting the ball out of bounds because they're behind or they're in front of the ball.
Yeah.
And
there's that play that you hate,
right?
Right on the serve, and she just returns it deep, but it got a point. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, whatever gets to the point, right? At some point, it's like
that's true.
It's like
especially because these teams are tired.
Yep.
So yeah. So
looks out. Yep.
The older you get, the easier it is to control it, to know where to go. And then you see where the holes are.
And every team's different, those holes, depending on what they're playing.
Right. My girls will look at me and ask me where the holes are, and I'll tell them, the front row blocker's coming from the left, so there's a hole in the front left spot.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep, sure.
Or, if you can see if the defense is a little deeper, you tip over the block to the middle, and then it's wide open.
Yep.
We alternate. And generally, the server's box. Oh, nice. That was a great save.
Got it over.
Good thinking by Aaron.
Just to bump it over,
yeah,
right?
Carly is in bumping over mode. Nice. Good tip. Ooh, got to get that to the middle.
If it's more in the middle, that's what you want, right?
Yep. Oh, good attempt.
Also, sometimes high school volleyball, it's like make them first mistake.
Yep.
Right? Like there is some of that too. It's just like you just get that ball over and let them hit it into the net or miscommunicate or whatever it is.
Definitely.
But there's less of that in this tournament. It seems like the normal.
Yep.
Because of the defense.
Good serve.
Starting to get some energy.
Yep.
In the gym a little bit. Aaron's a good server, so she need a couple more points.
Could bump it over. Oh, Addie Julian right back at him. One thing I really like about Quentin Road is they set up their defense. They have a couple girls deep on the court. They have that girl in the middle.
Yeah. But then you keep those corners, right?
Yes.
Those corners are deep.
So when these other teams are sending the ball deep, they have people there to pick it up.
Doesn't usually hurt them. It's just usually that hard, fast middle back where it's the weak point, right?
Yep. It's like kind of becoming a default mode to send that ball back over.
Yep. For both teams.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then that might be why, right? It's like if I try anything else fancier, I might not hit it. So I'll just send it deep.
Sometimes it comes down to the confidence you have in your own team.
Yeah. I was just gonna say actually when I was thinking that, I was thinking, Carly's probably thinking that a little bit with her, her young teammates. Like, okay, I'm just gonna get it over.
Yeah.
I know they're all tired.
Right.
It may not go over if I don't hit it now.
Yep. Nice. Good dig, Bailey Reyes. Nice hit by Micaiah.
Great hit.
Quad Cities dug it up, though.
Yep. That was a great dig.
Yep. She's going to try again. She got hit into the block, but they picked it up. One more time. Yes.
Oh, a little finesse, right?
Yep.
She tried it hard the first couple times. They're like, you know what? I'll just pick my spot. No problem.
Right.
You go ahead and block. I'll send it in that corner there.
We got a timeout. All right.
Micaiah is just one of those players. You just kind of feel like you always have a chance no matter who you're against.
Yeah.
Right? Just like a good athlete, and she can give you, I don't know what a crazy number of kills is in a game, but I feel like she can get you there, right? It's just like she has that next level ability. And
just her improvement since last year.
Yeah.
I feel like last year, every time she touched the ball, it would hit the back wall.
Okay, yeah.
And so just her maturity and just improvement over this past year have been amazing.
Just keeping it in play. I mean, she hardly ever hits the back wall, right? Like, it never goes out of bounds. She's one of those
She's tipping it.
It seems like it's always in play.
Yep, changing directions. She hit a cross court on that one and then down the line.
Yep.
It's like, that's what you want to see out of a hitter.
Yeah, interesting.
So as a junior, that's really great. She still has one more year to work on that.
Right. 21-17, does the tiebreaker go to just these two games, or does it go into other games?
It goes to these two first.
Okay, yep.
If the scores are equal, then they go to...
Gotcha, okay. So if you can win by more than 4, I think it was, right?
Yep.
So that's going to be a tough ask. It's already tough to win this game. Cloud City's a good team here.
Yep.
So
let's get this
we'll
serve
see what happens.
This is step one.
Yep.
All right, Addie Julian's back
to serve. Good play by Addie to reset that, right?
Yep. It wasn't a very good toss. Good, nice, good serve. That's what we needed. Oh, good little hit. Jenna dug it up. Nice. Good dig by Bailey out to Micaiah. Hits it down the line for another kill.
Another one.
That was awesome. That's the sweet spot, I think, for this team.
Yeah. That was a great hit.
Yep. That is a tough ball to dig, especially if they have two girls on that line, and it's just, there goes that serve.
Yeah.
They have two girls down the line, and if it's difficult to dig that because you have one kind of close to the net and one deeper. They don't know who's going to get it. One ducks, the other one.
Yep. Tries to adjust, but
that reaction time.
Yeah.
A few sets over the hit, over the net here.
I was trying to figure out if that was on purpose or not.
Yeah, right. Micaiah with a nice tip over. See, can they get it? Oh no.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Was that one out, you think? I couldn't tell.
I think it was out. I do think it was out, but if you're not
close
sure,
to call. Yeah, exactly.
Just go after it. Absolutely.
You hate to just watch it drop right in front of you and play, right?
Yep.
In bounds.
Yep. Nope, sending it back over.
If you want to break the tie, if you're Quentin Road, you got to probably get this point here, I think, right?
Yep, I think so. Oh, that was a nice back set by Sarah.
Yep.
Nice. Ooh, that was a good one. Let's see.
Game of inches, right?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Nice little set to Jenna.
And those are nice. Like, Jenna.
She got it. All right.
Jenna and Carly both can get that hit over.
Yes, they
So
can.
it's kind of nice. Like, how important is that to have a setter that can actually spike too?
That's really good.
Is that helpful as a coach to know that, like,
yes.
you know, and then have to hit? I have a spiker who can set too,
Right.
right? Like that, like is awesome. You can interchange like that.
Yep. Every middle hitter secretly wishes. Oh, that was out. Yes.
She went for it.
She did.
Sometimes I think they call it out or in if you go for it. Like,
Right.
you know, if you're going with your whole heart, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
it was out, but you were going for it, right?
Right,
So that, I
right.
was a little surprised. This is
Yep.
big, 24-19.
Good serve by Jenna. You know, I was saying middle hitters, they secretly wish to be setters.
Yeah,
So when the middle hitter gets the second ball,
that's their chance.
there's their chance to set up that setter.
That's funny. Yep. Here's to the tiebreaker, right? If you can get this point, you
Yep.
break the tie.
That's right. All right, let's see what we can do. Ooh, they set up a hitter. Oh, that was
I'm
a good
disappointed
hit.
that I'm not hearing more from the fans of Quentin Road.
Yeah.
Looking for some more volume down there.
Yep. Oh, we got a timeout by Coach M.
So she's trying to keep this as a tie
Yes.
for this match, and then that would go to other games. then.
Overall points.
Oh my goodness.
Right, the overall point spread.
So not just okay. So yeah, just adding up all
Yep.
the points. and
Yep.
Going
Exactly.
off of that. So who knows what that looks like at this point
Oh,
tonight,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
There's
I
a lot
have
of
no idea.
arithmetic, probably too much for me.
Yeah.
And I'm just an elementary school teacher.
Yeah,
Probably better
right.
for you. You're junior high math, so you can
Yeah,
probably
right.
take that one over. Wow. What do you think on this last play or
Let's
these
see.
last couple
Well,
plays?
they just need to handle this serve, and
Yeah.
not. I think they need to not pass it over the net. They
Yeah.
need to trust their front row
Yeah.
to get a good spike on the ball.
Yeah.
Passing it over is just giving the other team an opportunity to hit it, and now they just have to rely on their defense. And I would
Is
rather.
it different in college, do you think, where it almost gives you an advantage when they're serving because you have a chance to kind of set it and
Yes.
spike it?
Yes, definitely.
Whereas maybe at this level, maybe not quite because you're just not even sure you're going to get the serve over sometimes, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Yep.
And you have Micaiah in your front row
You
for the
do.
hit.
Yes, and Carly, who can set it. Oh, Micaiah's bumping it up. Oh, that's tough. Oh,
Able to
Carly
get it
got it
over
over.
barely.
Yep, that was close. Let's see what we do here. See there? Oh, good.
Wow,
Nice.
there it is.
Wow, what a good ending.
That was a great play.
Great block.
That hilarious moment there earlier in the play where Micaiah was the second hitter, and she's like looking around like, nobody else is going to get this? I have
Yeah,
to get
right.
this? I thought we were going to set to me, you know?
Yep.
Oh, man, what a play to end it. A block,
Good.
right? Was it a block
Yes,
at the end?
yep, she
Who
blocked
was that?
it.
Was
Sarah.
that
That was
yeah,
Sarah.
Yeah.
That was her first block of the game, I think.
That really is going to be key down the stretch, too, for Quentin Road. If Sarah
Yes.
can play well on the blocks,
Yep.
especially against good hitters.
Yeah.
Number 2
Yeah,
heritage.
just getting a touch on the ball.
Yep,
That's
yep.
important.
Slow it down, yep.
Right.
Yep, so.
All
right,
right.
our next games, what do we have next here for tonight? Do you know what's happening
No,
here?
I am
Quad
not sure.
Cities. Okay, so Quentin Road plays 8 o'clock tonight.
Right.
Arthur is their opponent, so that will be a very formidable adversary they have there, of
Yep.
course. And then Quad Cities, we'll find the next game for you Quad Cities fans, so you can
All
tune
right,
in
it
for the
looks
next one.
like we have Pathway versus Heritage next
In
on this
here.
court. On this court
Okay,
right
great.
here. Yep.
And then Quad Cities Pathway will be at 8 o'clock too. So Quad Cities Pathway, it'll be a good game too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Quad Cities Pathway both pretty good, evenly matched teams. Pathway played us pretty well, so I think that should be a good matchup for you Quad Cities fans to try and get updates on. I don't know if that one's getting live
Yeah,
streamed.
that's not
it's
going to be a
across
live
the way,
stream.
but maybe text your family and friends Quad Cities and see how your team's doing. That's a good Quad Cities team, honestly.
Yeah, it
so
is.
It'll be
They
interesting
did
to see
really
where they
good.
end up in the tournament. So.
Yep.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Linda, any last second thoughts before we wrap it up?
Nope. That's
All
it.
right. Great game. That was fun. Great 2 games, both of them.
Yep. All righty. We'll see you next time.